So this is my third attempt because of battery life on my phone. Hey guys, Matt here and welcome to my fragrance obsession. I hope you're all doing very well. As I said at the beginning of this video, this is actually my third attempt of reviewing this fragrance because of my stupid battery on my friggin' phone. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the one.
Keeping those fingers crossed.
So as you can see guys, I have a really classic fragrance in front of me, a fragrance which I've always wanted in my collection. I've had it for about a week now, I've been experimenting with it, I've been wearing it, I've been smelling it a lot, put it that way, just so that my nose is fully trained on this fragrance and that I know a lot about it. And I feel like I'm totally up to date with this fragrance. And the fragrance, of course, that I'm going to be telling you guys tonight is the one and the only Bowling Green by Geoffrey Beene. Now, those of you who are aware of the house of Geoffrey Beene will of course know about the infamous grey flannel. Gets a lot of hate, a lot of people respect this fragrance for what it really is, in my opinion. I think this fragrance has so much to offer. To me, I think it's unique, I think it's a classic gentleman fragrance, and I think it smells fantastic in my opinion. But here's the difference. This fragrance is still in production. However, Bowling Green is unfortunately I hate it when fragrances get discontinued, but yeah, let's talk about Bowling Green by Geoffrey Beene. If you guys haven't heard of this fragrance, I will actually tell you a lot about it, so stay tuned and let's talk about the presentation. So in case you guys were wondering what the fragrance was actually standing on, this is the box itself. Really unique box in my opinion. It's completely made of cardboard. It actually looks like a toilet roll. That's what it kind of reminds me of, but really cool design. We get Bowling Green and this circular sticker in the middle. Bowling Green, Eau de Toilette, natural spray, Geoffrey Beene, 4 ounce, 120 mils. I picked this up for £17 by the way guys, not bad price I think for a discontinued scent. But it's a really nice box, it's really different. It's actually really solid for being cardboard. We get Geoffrey Beene right on top there, as you can see. It's a nice dark green, of course, green fragrance. Bowling Green makes a lot of sense. And we get the sticker on the bottom there, which I've tried ripping off. I really do apologize for this horrendous box presentation. But this is what is inside the box itself. Very hollow, and the fragrance literally sits in there like that. The bottle design, very simplistic. Nothing really unique about it, but to me, I do like it because of its simplicity. Nice standard bottle, doesn't have to be, you know, too over the top, too flamboyant. The scent itself is not flamboyant and over the top, so a nice simple bottle to go with a nice simple scent, I think, and I think that really works. So we get the sticker on the front of the bottle here. It is a little bit ripped here, so I do apologize, guys. We get Bowling Green, Eau de Toilette, natural spray, and Geoffrey Beene. That's all we get, and it tells you the size and when it was made on the bottom there. So yeah, the juice itself as well is like a nice sort of light yellow color, very classic 80s type of cologne color, really nice. But that is it. That is literally it in terms of the presentation, guys. So that is the presentation for Geoffrey Beene's Bowling Green. So if I had to describe this fragrance in just a few short words, I would say that it was citrusy with an exclamation mark, green, earthy, and very masculine. Even though it comes from the 1980s, it doesn't give off a strong powerhouse vibe. So it's definitely not like a lot of those 80s powerhouses, you know, it's not like the Azara Pour On, well, 70s, but you know, like Kuros and, you know, strong powerhouse fragrances like that, which not a lot of people might like these days. This one isn't like that. I think a lot of men would actually still wear this. So in terms of its smell, it's not really like completely out of date. To me, I think it's a timeless smell. It is a classic smell, but it's timeless. I don't think it's ever going to go out of fashion. Just incredible. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray this fragrance and we're going to talk about the notes. Okay, let's put that on there. Sprayer for this fragrance is actually pretty damn excellent. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't actually show you guys the sprayer in the presentation. I'm really sorry about that. But the cap actually sits on really tight on this fragrance, which is really good. Considering the top, or the cap on grey flannel is very loose, and the sprayer for it is, that's okay. Can't complain really. Anyway, back to Bowling Green. Now, this fragrance came out in 1986, okay? So it came from the mid-80s. Fragrances were starting to lose the sort of strong macho-ness at this stage. They were starting to experiment with fragrances. They wanted to add more fruit notes, so the essence of lemon, and there was also an ingredient called cologne, which was starting to get involved in a lot of fragrances towards the end of the 80s. The note of cologne actually exists in a lot of sort of late 80s, early 90s aquatic fragrances. One fragrance very, very noticeable with the note of cologne is, of course, Cool Water by Davidoff. This fragrance, however, does not feature the note of cologne, but I just wanted to let you guys know that anyway. So, the top notes for Bowling Green by Geoffrey Beene are bergamot, lemon, basil, and juniper berries. So, as soon as you spray this fragrance, you get this blast of fizzy, refreshing lemon. The lemon smell in this fragrance reminds me so much of sherbet lemons. Sherbet lemons, of course, are a candy, in case you haven't heard of them. They're like candy and they've got like sugar on them and stuff. They're really delicious sweets, actually. And the lemon note actually smells a lot like those. So it's a refreshing, candy-like lemon, not overly sweet though, covered in a lot of herbs and spices. Do get a bit of bergamot. I would say it was blended quite lightly with that lemon, so the lemon note is just really strong in the opening. It is clean, again not overly sweet, but very approachable. I think it's a very approachable scent. It's definitely something that if you smell on somebody you'd be like, okay, you don't smell bad. It's definitely not an amazing fragrance, but it's definitely damn nice. Yeah, it's like a lot of that lemon, but we do get a bit of that basil creating that herbal vibe. And we do get a lot of juniper, and the juniper creates a lot of spiciness in this fragrance. So if you do like spicy lemon, this is a good one to go for. Not overly spicy though, sort of mid-spiciness, but definitely mellows out. And that's what we're going to talk about now, guys, with the middle notes. In the middle of Bowling Green, after about 2 hours, you get these notes. You get lavender, cardamom, pine needles, jasmine, cinnamon, and Artemisia. So after about 2 hours, the fragrance keeps its citrus, but is definitely not as pure as it was when you first spray it. So the citrus is there in the background. It's sort of just wafting around, like it's, you know, it's sort of like, well, I'll stay for a little bit, I'll stay for a few more hours until a few of the other notes play a big part. You know, that's what it's like. So after about that 2 hour mark, you get a lot of pine, and the pine creates a sort of in the forest feel. I don't know why, but when I smell this fragrance, it just reminds me of being inside a forest. I don't know why, but it works and it smells fantastic. It's like pine mixed with a bit of a powdery lavender with a tiny bit of cinnamon. There's not a lot of cinnamon, but there's a perfect amount of cinnamon to be mixed with those two notes to give it just this really nice green smell. It actually smells quite summery at this point. It doesn't smell like your typical aquatic, you know, it doesn't smell like a fruity fragrance. This baby just gets better and better and better the more it's been on your skin. And the dry down is where it gets even better. So let's talk about the dry down. In the base notes, we get patchouli, moss, cedarwood, amber, sandalwood, and fir. So this fragrance on my skin doesn't have the best longevity. I get about 6 to 7 hours out of it, which I suppose is quite nice because after a while the lemon note does become a little bit cloying and it does kind of give me a little bit of a headache after a bit. But in the dry down you get like no lemon whatsoever. The lemon just vanishes after about 4 to 5 hours and you're left for another about 2 hours with this very nice sort of soapy moss green smell. I actually get a lot of vetiver in this fragrance. Of course, vetiver is not listed according to base notes, but I get a ton of vetiver, and it smells divine. So there's a little bit of a synthetic green vetiver smell to it in the dry down, and it just smells absolutely incredible. So in terms of the smell, it's fantastic, but here's the main point, okay? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. When you first spray Geoffrey Beene, the first thing that, because I'm only telling you this from my own sort of perspective, when I first sprayed this, I did expect it to be a lot stronger. You know, I was sort of expecting this to have a sort of like an Eau Sauvage, maybe like a Chanel Pour Monsieur type edge to it. And it kind of does. It just doesn't have the strength of those fragrances. So if you are expecting that, don't expect a very strong in-your-face fragrance. To some people, it might be, but if you're used to your strong fragrances, this is nothing compared to, your Lapis Pour Homme or your Kuros, But it's a very pleasant scent. It's very, again, very simple. Nothing complex about this fragrance. It pretty much smells like your pretty standard generic green citrusy fragrance, but it's definitely got something to offer, and I'm definitely going to be getting myself another bottle of this in the near future because I can see myself wearing this a lot, and it's just great. Perfect time to wear this. I would say, you know what, there will be nothing wrong with you wearing this in the summer, but maybe like in the colder summer nights. So if there's kind of like that light breeze and the sky's sort of getting dark, and say if you're having a barbecue with a few friends and a few beers, perfect for this fragrance. But other than that, you could pretty much wear it all year round. But whenever you guys want to wear it, I'm sure it would work. So great fragrance from the house of Geoffrey Beene. Definitely deserves a lot of credit. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep smelling good, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye for now.